What Valentine's Day would be complete without some love poetry? We'll start out with Robert Burns, A Red, Red Rose. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry. Till all the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. I will love thee still, my dear, while all the sands of life shall run. And fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well a while. And I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 mile. Lord Byron. Hebrew melodies, she walks in beauty. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express, how pure, how dear their dwelling place. And on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days and goodness spent. A mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. Billy Collins. Serenade. Let the other boys from the village gather under your window and strum their bean-shaped guitars. Let them huddle under your balcony with heavy flowers and fill the night with their longing. Locals in luminous shirts yodeling over their 3 simple chords, hoping for a glimpse of your moonlit arm. Meanwhile, I will bide my time and continue my lesson on the zither and my study of the miniature bassoon. Every morning I will walk the corridor to the music room lined with the fierce portraits of my ancestors, knowing there is nothing like practice to devour the hours of life. Sheets of music floating down, a double reed in my mouth or my fingers curled over a row of wakeful strings. And if this is not enough to rouse you from your light sleep and lure you through the open doors, I will apply myself to the pyrophone, the double-lap dulcimer, the glassarina, and the tiny thumb piano. I will be the strange one, the pale eccentric, who wears the same clothes every day, the one at the train station carrying the black case, shaped like nothing you've seen before. I will be the irresistible misfit who sends up over a ledge of flowers sounds no woman has ever heard, the one who longs to see her face framed by bougainvillea, perplexed but full of charity, looking down at me as I finger a nameless instrument it took me so many days and nights to invent. Henry Taylor. Trying to say what I want you to know, I am a spangled dancer in bold tights, a sash whose feet are nailed to the floor. My hands and arms can weave their vague suggestions, but not the leap toward your understanding. Like a tree stuck to the ground, I sway and sigh. My fingers fall like leaves, and still somehow you catch my drift and dance around me. William Shakespeare, Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often his gold complexion dimmed, and every faint from fair sometimes declines. Every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor loosen possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. When in eternal lines to time thou growest, so long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Anne Bradstreet, to my dear and loving husband. If ever two were one, then surely we. If ever man were loved by wife, then thee. If ever wife was happy in a man, compare with me, ye women, if you can. I prize thy love more than whole mines of gold, or all the riches that the east doth hold. My love is such that rivers cannot quench, nor aught but love from thee give recompense. Thy love is such I can no way repay. The heavens reward thee manifold, I pray. Then, while we live, in love let's so persever, that when we live no more, we may live ever. Elizabeth Barrett Browning, Sonnets from the Portuguese, number 43. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight. For the ends of being and ideal grace, I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely, as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. I love thee with the love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life, and if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death.